You have data everywhere, but is it working together? Meet Curator, the automotive industry's first unified intelligence engine. Curator unifies data from all corners of your dealership to transform marketing, sales, and customer interactions. See it today at goobagoo.com.
Hey, this is Daily Drive executive producer Jake Neer in Las Vegas. Thanks for listening to this bonus episode of the show. On Wednesday's episode, we reported that Volvo is bringing back Thomas Ingenlath to serve as Chief Design Officer starting February 1st. Ingenlath designed the XC60, Volvo's all-time bestseller, and previously led the company's design team before becoming Polestar's first CEO. That story came to us from Doug Bolduc of our sibling publication, Automotive News Europe. Doug spoke with Ingenlath in the wake of the news, and we wanted to give you an opportunity to hear more from that exclusive interview. Here's a piece of their conversation.
First of all, congratulations. This is fantastic news.
Yeah, thanks, Doug.
Yeah, you really never lost connection with the brand, and you and Håkan have such a fantastic working relationship. Very respectful, so this, tell me how it came together.
Well, okay. First of all, couple of things. It's actually a long time ago that I have been with Volvo, and indeed the connection stayed, partly because, of course, I stayed in the group, and my heart never left that much either. My family, we're all here in Gothenburg. We not only like the country, we like as well the values of the country. And these values are incredibly relevant and truth for Volvo as well. So having said that, I worked for other companies. I see a lot of other companies, and I have to say that's still something very special, and to be acknowledged what it means to work in such an environment, good environment here with these values. So that was one part. The other thing is, how much do you actually feel excited about doing this job? And I need that. Jesus, to work how I work, with that energy and passion, you need to be passionate about the thing. Otherwise, you cannot fake it or create that energy out of nowhere. And when I left Volvo, that range of cars was done. It felt like a good time and stuff. I feel now there's a different thing ahead of us. And I feel that is generally in the industry a big question mark, a big task, a big thing to solve in a way. Obviously, electric cars, digital cars are reality. That is the way ahead. But the first, and I would call it now, naive wave of how that falls in place, we went through that. And there are now a couple of understand and learnings where we have to find now a bit more of a sophisticated, better answer. And that is, for the way how we interact with cars. I think everybody feels that we haven't really got a good harmony between what we have in screens, what we have with controls there. I think there's still a big, big task ahead of making the car feel good and really joyful. And I call it now again. That's where acknowledging certain physical aspects of your body and the way how the brain works and how physical controls are. That's a big task, how to bring that modern interaction model into this understanding. Other thing is, I don't know if you've been in Munich and at the YAR and you saw the cars out there and how premium companies with long history, tradition, try to find now their expression, their way in terms of how they transfer into the electric age. That's exactly where I feel like very much teased and interested in working on that answer for Volvo. Volvo is a company with incredible history, incredible values, incredible rich storage of historical cars. How do you take that value, that treasure, and bring it alive in a modern electric car, in a modern way? Obviously not by ignoring it and just, creating something totally different. I think is opposite to, a startup Polestar where you kind of work with a white sheet of paper. Here, you really have to make that intellectual work of transferring that treasure into a modern expression. And again, not making this a romantic flashback. I mean, this has to be a very highly processed transition. So that's something that we're very curious and interested in doing that for Volvo.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how you handled that challenge. You did it so well with the generation of Volvo cars that we're still driving today, like the 90, the 60. They've had some tweaks, but it's still very much your baby when it comes to the core of the car. You've got this great experience bringing electrification out there and starting, like you said, with the blank sheet of paper. But now that balancing act, I mean, I was just in the iX3 yesterday, and that's a pretty good example of what you were saying about the IAA, that in-car experience is pretty intensively different. And how do you do that and put the Volvo stamp on it and put the Thomas Ingenlath stamp on it? That's going to be an interesting challenge to see how you're going to be able to do that. But I mean, again, this isn't something where you are planning on being here for, like Hogan, for 2 years. I mean, if for you to get to that level, you're going to need to be here for a little while, which is great. We'll have a lot of conversations.
Absolutely. And to make that clear, I mean, of course, it's great to have that trustful relationship with Håkan. We have been working very well together in the past. Having said that, I'm here, of course, for the job of Volvo and doing that generation of cars ahead. And that will take some time to shape it up and do it. And one thing is clear. On one hand, you need a good relation with the CEO, whoever that is. At the same time, you definitely need a very, very good working relationship with your colleagues in the executive management team. You cannot rely on the authority of the CEO to make that happen for you. You need to have that dialogue, that conversation, that argument together with the boss of R&D, the markets, and convince them, find the right compromise, find the right way ahead. That is a big task to network and work together with his colleagues.
Coming up, we'll hear more from Doug Bolduc's exclusive interview with incoming Volvo Chief Design Officer Thomas Ingenlath.
Your dealership has no shortage of customer information. But when that data is conflicting, messy, and spread across a multitude of platforms, it's impossible to activate properly. As the automotive industry's first unified intelligence engine, Curator enriches and unifies your customer data across platforms, like your CRM, your DMS, your website, and even your marketing efforts. It then injects that information back into your most vital systems to provide a single view of each customer and equip your sales team with the information they need to close a deal. When one of the largest volume Subaru dealers in the country wanted to tap into its data goldmine, they turned to Curator. In just 4 months, Huberger Subaru experienced a 55% higher closing ratio and a return of 15 times their investment. Want to see it for yourself? Check out the case study at gubagoo.com/curator. That's GUBAGOO.com/curator.
You have something that Håkan really wants, and I think that you and he would align on this mission, being closer with Geely. You know the wide Geely, not just one brand. You know how the whole operation works. So that definitely helps, because to get to that level, you're going to want to do it as cost effectively because that's the big challenge with the design, right? You can have a fantastic idea, but you also know, you've seen how the books, you've looked elbow to elbow with CFOs, that there's a lot more to running a car company than just pretty.
Absolutely right. The group is an inspiration and an opportunity. And this is what, strangely enough, in some discussions is sometimes ignored, that actually for a company of the size of Volvo, it's an incredible opportunity to be part and to work with technologies, with synergies in this group. This is what, I mean, already doing the XC40 together was an incredible advantage for Volvo. And I see that this can be very fruitful in the future as well. As somebody who came from the VW group, that obviously that was never something that I questioned. You have to have your own strong R&D. You have to have your own strong development capabilities. But at the same time, it's an incredible advantage to work together in a group in order to get these awesome products out.
And what's very interesting, and again, this is nothing that anybody could have timed, but I made like a 6 weeks period where we've lost Jerry McGovern from the design field. We've lost Gordon Wegner is retiring. And then someone with your experience and your knowledge is coming back. This was a nice change to see that, again, someone who has a link to the history of design as well as a vision of the future will still be helping guide us on that journey of what cars are going to be.
The good thing is, Doug, that, I dare to make that point now. I wasn't stuck to one place for too long. I actually have been, in my first 20 years, in a complete different company. I've been, of course, with Volvo. I've been longer away from Volvo than I was with Volvo, doing that startup Polestar, which, of course, I loved the job and I loved the challenge there, and it was a great time. But of course, doing this now, starting this at Volvo, is something completely fresh and new, and I come with fresh eyes to the place. Opposite, let's say I would have been here now for the last 15 years. I think that would be a very different situation.
Yeah. That fresh perspective to bring in. Now, I'm going to have to ask a cheeky question, so bear with me for a second. You know how to run.
No.
You know how to run a company. It's been said by Håkan in the company itself that Håkan will be there for 2 years. Can I call you a front runner for CEO, or will you say, you know what, I'm going to finish up my career as a designer?
No, you can take me off that list. I'm definitely not in for that. I'm very, very happy to concentrate now on the role as a chief design officer. And I tell you, that task and the complexity and the involvement with the business that it brings with it is definitely my field of concentration for the years to come.
Incoming Volvo Chief Design Officer Thomas Ingenlath spoke with Automotive News Europe Managing Editor Doug Bolduc. Thanks for listening to this bonus episode of Daily Drive. We'll be back on Monday with a brand new full episode of the show.